Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Been playing on my desk this morning, stripped the bed, made it to a meeting. Hudson's asleep in his basket up on the table. So it has been a divine morning. I still have coffee going. It's April 29th, still fabric, verging on corrugated cardboard. So I did both in this piece. Very fun, quick piece. It took me maybe, I don't know, maybe two and a half hours to start to finish to complete this. So that for me is a pretty quick project and very, very fun. Very colorful, whimsical, and fun. So, see you on the table. So here's our project for today. This is April 29th, 2019. April was fabric. May is corrugated cardboard. So this is using both of the challenges, which is really, really fun. So we used, adding a little stabilo here at the end. I used this wooden substrate, underpants, acrylic paint, 91% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, fabric on deli sheets because the deli sheets will glue down easily. Once the fabric is applied to one side, you can cut it out and glue it down. Corrugated cardboard, black stays on ink with a rubber stamp. Fabric, stabilo, and a marking pen. I think I got it all. Good morning. Dark o'clock here in Vallejo, California. Hubby's not even left yet. I have a pile of fabric squares or small pieces and a deli sheet and baby blue brush and Mod Podge. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start gluing the fabric onto this deli sheet. No particular order at all. Just going for it. Overlapping. Mod Podge on the deli sheet, and then whatever's left Mod Podge wise on my brush, I just scoot it down so that it's nice and flat. I'm going to leave the strings on, of course. Okay, just sent handsome hubby off to work with a kiss, and have a great day. Just to give you a time frame, this has taken me about 30 minutes to put this all on here. Just going to go back through and make sure everything is stuck down well, and then we are going to let it dry and work on the background. So this is my box of underpants. So I'm just going to play with some of these and put them on the background. Got all kinds of goodies in here. I'm just going to start by putting down some Mod Podge and some underpants. I am going to leave an edge of underpants so that I can tuck it around, wrap the substrate. Substrate can be a canvas or a canvas board or a repurposed piece of cardboard. Does not really matter. Something firm. So when I put the underpants on my substrate, I put Mod Podge down, I put the underpants down, and then whatever Mod Podge is left on my brush, I just give that a little bit of pressure so that the whole thing stays down. So there's actually Mod Podge underneath and on top of the underpants. so that I'm sure that all the edges are down. You might get some wrinkles. That's okay. We call that texture. Oh look, here's some Monopoly money. Let's use that. Well, it's fun. And just continue to cover your substrate. Don't think too much about this process. Just get those underpants on, otherwise you will be here forever. So don't be reading that paper that you're putting down, or those book pages. Don't be reading them now. This is just when you're slapping down something to cover that back, cover your substrate. All right, I'm not even going to wait for that to dry. I'm just going to flip it over and wrap it, because I do not care if a little bit of texture is formed while we're doing this. So just wrap your substrate. Okay, so I have wrapped the sides. This, just to give you a time frame on this took me about 15 minutes to put these underpants on. Okay, I am going to be working sideways because that's how I can fit this on the table. Just going to put some blue paint near the top and just hit the edges and drag that down. Then I'm going to put some green gold at the bottom and work that up with my credit card. And we're going to let that dry. I'm going to bring in some ochre just because I can, and I love the color. And we could certainly leave this right here because it is gorgeous. But I want to just play a little bit more, so I'm putting some blue paint on my workspace, and I'm going to really dilute it down with some water. And I have 91% alcohol waiting in a dropper, because you have to move kind of fast with this process. So I'm just going to add water to this paint, make it nice and diluted and juicy. And then very quickly I'm going to paint. That background. Keeping it nice and juicy, gotta be juicy. All right, alcohol time. And the crowd goes ooh and ah. Put as much alcohol on there as you want. Big drops, little drops. All your background is going to come through now. Beautiful. And you will see as the water dries, as the paint dries, you will get less activity. Take a moment and savor how fun that is. Let it dry. All right, so we're about an hour into the project. What I'm going to do, I can't find my X-Acto, of course, but I have another one. So I'm just going to go along some corrugated cardboard and cut that in a straight line. or sort of straight. There we go. Another one about the same width, maybe. And one more, because I do not know how many stems I'm going to need. Now I'm going to just cut out some leaves. What I'm going to do with these leaves is I am going to slice them up the center with an X-Acto, bring in my bamboo stick, and just peel back half of that cardboard. To create that leaf. Turn that down a little bit. Haha! So I'll bring those other leaves back in, cut them out, cut down the center, and pop half of that paper off. Creating some fun leaves. Just go for it, however many leaves you want. So this is a rubber stamp that's just going to be used for noise. We have lots of nice circles going on, so we're just going to get some linears going on. Now I'm going to bring in some sandpaper and scuff up the background a little bit. Now I'm going to cut a square, and I'm just going to round the corners a little bit. I cut a circle out. That'll be the center of the flower. Oh, so cute. All right, we need to just do some sizing here. So these are the corrugated cardboard pieces that I had cut. Yep, that's good. All right, we're going to continue on. Some of the flowers are going to be this size. Some of the flowers are going to be smaller. So to help me gauge that, I will cut a smaller square because I cannot be trusted. To make it smaller by myself. Is that smaller? Yes, it is. Need a little dot circle. Just take a side scrap. And I'm going to make 5 flowers. I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to need, but I am going to cut 5 flowers. Now I have 5 flowers and 5 centers cut. I still have just about a half of a deli sheet left with fabric on it for future projects, or you can certainly make more flowers. With Mod Podge, I am gluing these centers onto the flowers, applying a little bit of Mod Podge onto the top, and I will place these over on the side to dry with the rice bag on the flowers to hold them flat. Next I'm going to bring in the stems and the background. Decide how tall I want the stems. Well, that's probably good. I don't want them all to be the same length, so I'll cut some shorter. Come in here. And take that off. All right, we have 2 stems, so just go ahead and make 5 stems, different sizes. Taking that off so that the flower will lie flat. So I've just placed the stems on here. They're not glued because I want to see how the flowers are going to work on there. Very cute. All right, let's glue these sticks down where they are, okay? In the order that I put them down. And if I don't lose those would be great. Bring our little leaves back in. So the leaves are not perfect, which I love about them. And just glue them down where you want them on those stems. So to balance the energy a little bit more, I'm going to put one more leaf over here. All right, so just like you, I have to sneak my domestic chores in while I'm playing. So I just threw in a load of laundry and stripped the bed. This is shabby shutters. I'm just going to go on here and add a little bit of this green. Shabby shutters, and now paint, peeled paint. Bringing our flowers back in with my black StazOn ink, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the flower with the black StazOn. I'm going to do this to all of the flowers. I'm going to bring my StazOn in and go around the center of that flower. You know I'm a spit and smudge girl. If it bothers you, don't watch. Alright, I'm going to stabilo each flower center. Bring the art piece back in. I've probably confused all the flowers. where they were supposed to be by monkeying around with them. That looks pretty good. I'm going to glue them down with Mod Podge. All right, glue down all your flowers. Pretty cute. Now I'm going to add Stabilo around the leaves and the stem. And around each flower. And go around the edge with that Stabilo. So I have my ochre paint here, and I have a pencil eraser that's kind of an odd shape. And I am just going to go into the center of the flowers and just add a little bit of paint. And then, of course, just some little mini pieces of texture along the bottom with that same flat eraser. So I'm bringing in a black marking pen. Thought I was done, but yeah, not quite. And I'm just making some markings on the stems, and then I also just made some markings around the center of the flower. Just some scratchy lines, fun lines. All right, we're calling it done. Your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun.